Buenos dias, buenos tardes, y buenos noches a todos en todo el mundo. And good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody all around the world. And thank you for joining us today for another Left 4 Dead 2 competitive shoutcast. My name is MK. I'll be your caster and cameraman for today. And we have a match of the week set up between Fear Factory and South Stars. And I will be accompanied by a Fear Factory champion. It is Rails Barlow. How you doing, Rails?
I'm doing pretty well, MK. I'm sitting here with a smile on my face for a few reasons, none the least the fact that sometimes, what did we say in the last game? Sometimes this game changes, and other times it stays exactly the same. I'm just so happy that we found a server that is to both teams' liking, and I think we have a chaotic, great match in front of us for the match of the week, because we have some of the best players in the history of this game on Red Ping about to play each other on a Left 4 Dead 1 style map on a one game. I am so excited for this.
So am I, my friend. One of these teams, you know how the saying goes, somebody's O has got to go, because they're both 3-0 at this point. The question is who will be, and we're going to get into the action fast as we get baited. And one thing quick before we start here, Rails, is that we have two other undefeated teams, and that is Akori and Hankini. And one of them are going to play which one? We won't know. We'll have to see. And here we go, starting attack. Smoker, Charger, Boomer, Hunter. Let's see when they send their infected in.
Yeah, this is going to be super interesting. For Fear Factory, we have Presto, Gosu, Chris, and Aggressive W, aka Manzano, and they're going to be on Survivor side first with some of the best, Survivor players that we've seen in the past 10 years. That's going to be two quick clears going out onto those SI, and the Charger does get melted as well. MK, I expect a great game, because who do we have on the SI side?
We're going to have OC, Norb, Bugatti, and Slay. Some different members from Cell Stars. Keo is not making his appearance yet in this cup, which I'm a little sad to see. I was excited to see if we would see him today. But look how fast they're pushing out here, Rails. And they actually get to slow down and clear the commons. I thought they were going to go all the way out there. I thought that might have been a misplay, in my opinion, with all these common infected chasing from behind. Quite a bit.
Yeah, I expect nothing different from Fear Factory on Survivor side, especially with this lineup of the team. Having Manzano and Chris together again is what?
Look at the commons are stuck. They can't get off. Look at they're just stuck.
That, I guess, also happens sometimes, whether or not the team is super good or super new, but Fear Factory benefiting a little bit from some Left 4 Dead pathing. This is going to be one of the most Left 4 Dead of Left 4 Dead matches that we've seen in a very long time. I just have a feeling about it with both these squads. But now the survivors actually only have 20 seconds left on this baiting timer for this horde. The tank is going to spawn as well, and the SI are actually going to be, looks like going in now, interestingly enough, and that has the baiting timer go to nothing as well, because the survivors, I think, went far enough to do that. This is just an awkward moment right now for the special infected.
Reloading. I was going to say, I figured that Hunter just got blasted out of the sky. And here is the first tank of the game for South Stars into the hands of Slay. And he's been through quite a few tanks in his time, but not one quite like this. And there was something I wanted to say here, Rails, before we got the chance last game, is if the tank chooses to go over the fence on the left here, survivors can rush the safe room, and it has happened to Akori. It did happen to them. They got ran on with their tank alive.
Yeah, I mean, Chris is a caller who likes to really move the survivors around, which is one of the hallmarks of being super good at this game, is being adaptable to situations. Like right now, for example, right, they're going to see that dumpster get hit in, and they're either going to stay here or they can kind of threaten forward, kind of like you were mentioning. But I think it's still in the position where the SI could cut them off, so they have to decide where they want to fight this tank. They're staying pretty stationary, at least for the moment, and the SI are going to have to send it in because Slay's down to 60%. And I don't know about this 3-cap. It's the Jockey Hunter Charger. Everything has to kind of land, I think, in this area, unless a hittable somehow goes in. But let's see exactly what they do, MK, because now the tank is going to be making his way towards the survivors onto the ambulance. Hunter going in as well and is going to die. Jockey does land. That's going to be the tank getting a punch, getting another punch now as well, but only 2 punches so far. Charger's going to go and gets absolutely nothing. And honestly, that rock landing is good for the special infected, but I'm a little underwhelmed by South Stars just at the start of this. Fear Factory are kind of just doing what they want in some ways, and unless Slay somehow pulls out a miracle. With 1k HP here, he's chasing Presto, who is the shotgun in the back, but the survivors have total control of this, at least so far. They just need to make sure they don't accidentally catch a hittable or something.
Yeah, oh, he's bringing the pallet jack in. I don't know how much damage that's going to do, but he lands another rock. At 9 HP, Rails, at 9 HP, Rocky's gonna get another one. Oh, no, not gonna get this one, but he should die off now. He's sneezed on. But I wanted to see the pallet jack come into play, but 72% is a lot of points for Fear Factory. They're going to put over 1,000 up after one chapter, Rails. Really good start for Fear Factory.
Well, yeah, and honestly, not trying to be hypercritical here, but we have a 0 on the board for the special infected, unfortunately, you know? It's something where they just never seem to get comfortable that entire round. I don't know if it was the commons not going into the room when the survivors were there. I don't know if they didn't want to save their spawns for when the tank was going to spawn. I don't know if we're going to see Fear Factory do that or not on SI side, but, you know, Slay did what he could with that situation, but I just feel like they needed to do more already.
Yeah, I completely agree. I do believe, if I saw correctly, Rails, I believe the tank killed the hunter when he was committing and he missed his first punch.
I saw it get shut down, and I thought that somebody either skeeted it, but like having a miscom like that where the hunter goes for the same person the tank is going for in a way that isn't designed is, yeah, that'll really limit the capacity for damage on a tank fight.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what happened, and it's just, unfortunately, it happens sometimes, and in an open area, it's more catastrophic for the tank. So I think the 4 hits that he got, the 2 punches and those 2 rocks, was really a blessing for Cell Stars, because otherwise they're about to walk in with probably 90% bonus as far as Fear Factory. So as long as Cell Stars can get like into the safe room with 1 or 2 in caps, they'll only be down about 700, or they could just do the same thing, and we could have a tie game going into Chapter 2. It's very possible.
Well, yeah, I expect both these teams to score like really well. This map is a little survivor-sided once you get past the alley, but it's also like, okay, you have special infected players who have played this game for just thousands upon thousands of hours over years upon years in the same way we have, if not more, right? And it's like, so, okay, let's see what the special infected decide to do, because I think Fear Factory is going to be aiming for a little bit more damage than the damage that was put onto them or lack thereof. So let's see how South Stars Survivor can take it. I'm confident that they'll actually know what they're doing as well, obviously, just with their experience. Not exactly sure who's calling for them. Might be Slay or Bugatti, I'm not sure. But the SI have the Charger, Smoker, Boomer, and Hunter to start. This Go-Go's coming out in chat. Charger does land for a hot second. Hunter gets blown out of the sky. Smoker kind of 1-by-1 there. MK, Boomer does die last, so they will have a spit with just 10 damage on the board.
Yeah, and this is gonna, now they're not gonna have any issues with commons. They might be able to push spawn the tank and run back right away if they choose so. Question is, will they? Because look at the spawn timers, really. They still have 8 on the longest person, and they actually just drop into safety. I think they could have been a little bit more aggressive, in my opinion, but nothing wrong with playing it safe with these alley choke points. Because if you're getting caught up there and that tank is able to get the car in, bad things can happen quickly. As they have a Hunter, Charger, Jockey, Spitter, great sack order coming out from Fear Factory, and I do believe we'll see this rotation a lot. They go, yeah, it is. I wonder why they're going that way.
I am curious about this because maybe they're trying to figure out just a way to make the SI go before the end of the alley where the tank spawns, and that's the thing about it. It's dangerous in 2 ways. The first one is it's just a hit where the SI have spawns above you, and when you're playing with 150 or 200 ping, that makes that a little crazy. But at the same point in time, on this particular instance, the tank is also going to be right there. They are not waiting for that tank, however. They get a great pounce with a spit followed up on that. The Charger lands as well, so does the Jockey for some pre-tank damage. Neither team deciding to hit at the end here, because I guess they can probably just get forward enough to where it wouldn't matter. If they got boomed here, it would suck, but with the hit down, MK, that's going to put the tank into the hands of Presto, longtime player in this community, both on IBP and also with Mingoose family. You know, if there's anybody who knows how to play this tank in the game, it's him. I don't know exactly what he's going to do with it, but they're calling for a hit already as this goes in. Smoker's going to go in, so is the Hunter. Boomer gets popped very nicely there by the survivors, and the dumpster is not going to land yet, MK.
No, and he kind of got himself in a little bit of a situation being stuck over there. They could push around and push out, and actually he'll have nothing. He has nowhere to go. But they're going to play more passively than aggressive as far as Cell Stars. But because the other game we were over here earlier, remember how fast the one team pushed out and aggressive on this tank, and they're just going to choose to stay back here. He has no hittable right now, Rails. The hittable's gone. So this
see, that's the thing. The Survivor style for South Stars, I think, is a little more on the conservative side, especially with this ping, and they're doing a great job so far of killing these boomers. Like, getting boomed there would have been absolutely ridiculous, but they're kind of just moving so that Presto is going to be forced in, and they're threatening to run forward too. That's a good dumpster hit, but the survivors, they need to make up their mind exactly where they want to be. Actually, they're going to be staying here, so they have to be careful of the one dumpster that is in play for the SI, which could easily ricochet into someone, but the survivors do actually get around the tank. There are 2 punches going in already, however. He's trying to get this corner, and there it's going to be. Hunter's going for a survivor. Charlie lands, Jockey lands. That's not the corner quite secured. There's the skeet going out. Oh, this was so close to a wipe if that charger had also somehow found a way to land, but he's going to whip that car at Lewis, and he is going to get another punch, it looks like, right there, and actually an in cap with 150 HP. What a tank coming out from Presto. That is some impressive stuff, and you know, at least on the side of South Stars, they're alive, but that was way more damage than it should have been, in my opinion.
Yes, that was pretty good. Actually, take this for a second, Rails. I need a minute.
All good, all good. So the survivors are going to have to try to find a way to mitigate more damage. The only problem that they're going to have is that there's like probably one more hit. If the SI are patient, they might be able to get something else out onto them. And the Boomer's actually going to pre-spawn, trying to get the survivors' attention. Let's see exactly what happens here. Because, yeah, okay, it's a single boom. Survivors are just going to keep kind of bouncing around. At the same point, now it's a double boom, so okay, this could actually be even more damage. But the SI, again, being patient, as I kind of just alluded to, because they're going to have some tight space and high ping gameplay here. They still have only like 280 bonus now, 284 bonus. I thought it was going to go down a little more on the survivor side, but every little bit matters in a game like this. They're going to be looking at like a 400 or 500 point delta unless they eat a charger to the face, but there is no charger. It's a 100 jockey spitter smoker. There's a nice skeet going out. With the jockey going in though, on to the spit, and actually that was a pretty well handled hit by the survivors, that being South Stars, as we've said, and I'm pretty sure that's actually going to be it. They are going to make it into the safe room, and we're going to be looking at just a 300 point delta. It actually felt a little bit like maybe Fear Factory should be ahead by a little bit more than that, dare I say, but South Stars did a good job rebounding on that tank. They didn't get wiped, and yeah, dodging that charger was absolutely essential during that fight. So it's going to be 1032 to 668 going into the second round of No Mercy Rehab. We'll see exactly when MK comes back as well.
All right. Sorry about that. We are back.
Good timing. Good timing. Good timing.
Sorry about that. It was I have family visiting, and they wanted to come inside. And now is not the time. It is Left 4 Dead time. So opening hit's going to be Boomer Jockey, Spitter, and the Hunter. They're little, my 2 little cousins are sweethearts, but it's zombie time, Rails. It is not time for that. But here we go. 100 pounds around, does land. Spit doesn't have the angle though, and that's just kind of be a throwaway. And it's just going to be a Hunter, Charger, Smoker, Spitter for the next hit. Unfortunate for that Spitter there, Rails. Not able to get the right angle on.
Well, yeah, and while you were gone, I was saying as well, you know, it's not a huge score delta. It's like 300 to 350 points in actuality, a little more now that Fear Factory is on the second Survivor chapter that they've had. But it's also like, okay, well, you don't want to catch yourself sleeping on the special infected side of things. That Smoker's going to die. And the one thing that I want to see from South Stars, I'm not sure how long they've been using this lineup, honestly, because I remember the more classic one of like Slay, Domi, Kyo, etc., right? But they need to hit with a little more force when it comes down to what's going on here, just because Fear Factory is still just controlling the pace as Survivor.
Yeah, I believe they're just trying to slow down for the spawn to come up. It's going to be a tri-cap. Charger's up above. Okay. I don't know about that call. This Charger's going to get probably melted down before it has a chance. So they're just going to go the other way. They're going to outsmart the infected, and now this should be an easy shutdown, Rails, barring some kind of distraction from this jockey. And Hunter gets skied. Oh, it doesn't get skied. Oh, look at this, Rails. They're all in the spit. All 3 of them. Oh, my goodness.
Listen, I didn't say anything, but I was sitting there and I was thinking to myself, like, okay, it's a match. And I was watching Presto's POV. You know, but sometimes, like, you bait a hit out or you try to go around it, and then you somehow just end up taking, like, the damage that you feared you were going to had you just held W, you know what I mean? And that unfortunately turned into one of those instances if you're Fear Factory, but South Stars did a great job of staying patient and just landing the SI. When you're playing with 173 ping for each person, right? You know, it makes it that much harder. That Hunter does manage to get a little bit of separation there, but the intercepts do get shut down. that's going to be a double boom, but the tank's going to be up in just about 10 percentage points. And MK, I mean, it's better SI this round from South Stars. I'm happy that they're actually doing some of what we hoped we'd see from them.
Yeah, that one attack was a really turnaround for them. They were able to land the next one after, but unfortunately the clears were too quick. As you were saying, the Fear Factory just fast clears, even though the 2-boom landed. Not much it was able to do. And they're going to go fast again. Smoker Jockey miss. Charger will find a target on a pre-spit, and that's going to get good value.
Wow, and this Smoker still isn't clear with the spitter scratching. Yo, this is a night and day performance now. Maybe that first, sometimes the first map can be a little bit slow just because it's like, okay, you're trying to get your bearings, it's a custom map, and then now, though, South Stars have done a great job on the special infected side of things, and this is all still pre-tank damage. Like, I want to keep mentioning the fact the teams are playing on the latency that they are, because it's like, wow, all right, that allows for a lot of room for the special infected sometimes to just get their pinners to land when they absolutely wouldn't on green tank. This Charger's going to go and clip the wall that would have happened on whatever latency it was, and this tank is up into the hands of the one and only OC. Now, is that OZ?
I know he's on the team. It does look like his tag.
It probably is OZ. That's amazing. Well, we're talking about players who have been some of the best in the past 10 years, maybe the past 15, then from that case all the way back to the days of Team Port K. So if there's anybody who knows what to do in this situation, kind of like I said on Presto's tank, like OZ, if you're looking at this, it's like, all right, if you get 3 in caps, it's not the worst thing in the world, but I don't know, MK. The pressure's already built up a little bit, I think, because if for whatever reason Fear Factory shuts this down, it's going to put a lot of pressure on South Stars, I think, to try to keep that pace. That boom is going to land onto 1, and see if he decides to go with it.
I don't know. Looks like he wants the tri-cap rails.
Well, yeah, because I was thinking to myself, is this one of those areas where getting 1 boom is an immediate wipe? And apparently the answer is no. So if he's going to go with the tri-cap, he's probably going to rely on the Smoker to get some kind of early pull. They are just going to play for the wipe, I'm pretty sure, because there's no reason not to, especially when you've already done that much damage and there's only 1 set of pills in the Survivor's pre-tank. So he's going to come down the right-hand tunnel, which I think is a good idea just because he doesn't get shot as much there. And now he does have the chance to run directly at Presto, who did get pulled. The Smoker is still alive, and Presto's actually separated. Now he's pounced. Charger lands, Smoker lands in the triple cap. MK, this is an absolutely gorgeous, what's looking like a wipe. Let's see if that Charger clear has anything to do with it. It's just Chris. Now he does manage to get the Smoker clear, but this Hunter is still doing what it is. Ozi gets the rock to in-cap another Survivor, and that is the best answer we could have ever hoped for on the special infected side. What a brilliant wipe from South Stars. That's incredible.
I think we could need to clip what happened there. I don't know if you saw that, but the Survivor that got punched down that little hall there bounced off of something like a B-hop and flew all the way down to the other end and got pounced away.
Didn't even, like, I saw it happen and I was just like, oh, okay, it's Left 4 Dead 2 thing.
What was that? It was very fortunate for South Stars, but more importantly so, Rails. The rolling tri-cap on a tank commit, you can't ask for anything more when you're in the infected, and this is what South Stars needed, and Fear Factory also needs to halt them at that tank to hold on to the delta that they've earned so far.
Well, yeah, and I think, honestly, the fact that it was a hit that got him that separated from the team may have surprised his teammates as well, because when that Charger came in, like, from across them, it was so cinematic. It's just like, okay, that's the angle that he had to go in from because they were pushing to try to save him. Now the momentum has totally shifted to South Star's side. That is a 2-2 getting completely shut down for no damage, MK. Like, they have all the momentum in the world. What do you think they're going to try to do on that tank differently than what Fear Factory did?
First of all, try not to die is definitely one thing, but definitely not.
Yeah.
And if it was up to me, I would definitely, how could I say? I would try to stay further away to not let that pull happen. I do believe they could have backed up a little bit more earlier, but either way, the attack comes in now. There's a Comet, they're locked in the back, and they're going to land a tri-cap. Oh, another, no, not quite. It's going to be kind of a 2-2 cap coming out here, Rails, but the damage comes out without his fitter. Over 10% finds value.
Well, yeah, and Fear Factory know that they need to have some urgency themselves at this point because the lead that they had on the first map that looked so good for them just about 5-10 minutes ago no longer exists because of what South Stars can potentially do on this map. You know, like 400 points is really not a buffer if another team's able to survive a tank and then try to make a safe room after you got wiped. they really have to do work on this tank. I think Gosu knows that, and you know, they're going to do the best that they can to get even more damage right here. Boomer Jockey, Spitter, Hunter, 2-2 for this hit. They are going to wait until the survivors at the very end of the train. Hunter's going to get skeeted. Jockey does land. So nothing of real consequence going out from that hit at all once again. And now the survivors are going to be able to push their way to the event room.
Yeah, they'll be able to. I like the try there from Fear Factory. Just unfortunately, the Hunter wasn't able to grab the Uzi player in the back. They pre-spit into it. It just didn't work out in their favor. Good try. They're going to be holding up here. They're not going to run back. I do believe they get another Spitter, though. I think it should be Charger, Smoker, Hunter, Spitter. This is good set of spawns. Let's see if Fear Factory can find some value. Ooh, there's spawns in between, but nobody sees it. Okay, they're now blocking it. And they're just going to full send from this side. Hunter, not going to land. Charger gets 1 punch, 2 punch, 3 punch. Oh, it's an in cap. He goes for another survivor, and he gets him. No slam, though, but Rails, they get an in cap already. Wow, what an attack from Fear Factory.
I have to be honest with you. I mean, both teams essentially had the same thing happen to them. You don't usually see people getting pulled in that room. Like, Smoker in that area is really difficult on special infected side, but on each half a survivor has gotten pulled for a considerable amount of damage in that room, and South Stars are pretty much in an absolutely equal position to where Fear Factory were pre-tank. We have to see what Gosu can do to try to match, you know, what happened there with OZ, but I'm telling you, the one thing they're going to be looking for on the survivor side is a replication of that early pull. They just really can't allow that to happen.
Yeah, I definitely do agree. Trying to avoid that early pull and let the survivors just kite them a little bit more. I don't even know if they'll have the Smoker in the rotation, but the tank will be in the hands of Noro, player on UN, runner-up of really big tournament 7. So he's going to try to put it down onto South Stars to give his new team, Fear Factory, is playing with that clean L position. No zero or no ones in the L.
Going into one boom.
He's thinking about it. Oh, he's rolling in. He's going to do it. They're happy with the Smoker and Charger. The comments are now in the mist. Smoker pulls same spot, Rails, but doesn't go flying down. Second punch. One more will be in cap. He eats the pills early, and it's going to work for him. The DB's going to be effective, but no one's shooting him. He's only lost 400 health since he's in there, so the pills didn't do anything. They're still in Charger alive. He's going back in. Charger down. Jockey trying to cover.
Yeah.
There's still some commons. Oh, he misses a punch, though. Jockey unable to land. Charger is dead, and it looks like they're going to live. And this is big for South Stars, Rails. They're going to survive.
Yeah, that was interesting because basically we debated it on the last half about how effective the one boom would be there, right? And this time Gosu decided to go in with it. I don't think it's a bad decision, honestly, and he got a lot of damage off it. The survivors are also ridiculously split at the moment. They're trying to get back together because I guess there were pills behind, which is good for South Stars, but you know, this map isn't quite over. They dealt with the event. They're going to probably tie it up unless something completely insane happens, which of course it could. But this hit's going to be going in now. Smoker does manage to almost land onto Zoe. Meanwhile, the Spit's going to go in there, really not on anything at all, and the one boom's going to land. So, okay, momentum now back in the South Stars corner. And again, we've been spoiled recently, MK, honestly, with the quality of some of these matches from different tournaments and things like that. But this is shaping up to be another one of those Titanic, you know, it's exactly as it was billed, 2-3-0 teams with people who are some of the best in the game over the past, like I said, decade, literally. And I don't know. It's a momentum-based game, and Fear Factory need to create some on SI side.
Yeah, they got to gain it back. I mean, I do still like the amount of damage they got, but 255 bonus, I do believe, should give South Stars a slight lead. Not by a lot, because they still have to get to the safe room. But we'll see what Fear Factory... And it's a quad try as well. I don't know if they know about it, but here's the go-go. They rock it all from the same spot. Oh, it's going to be 2 landing, not a tri-cap. Okay, it's a double-double,
yeah,
but down to 186, and Fear Factory will still have the lead, Rails. They can't take it anymore.
Yeah, it's going to be practically tied. I mean, that quad had kind of a chance of landing, but still, I mean, South Stars are getting damaged whether or not everything's landing in sequence as well, because like I said, when you have the higher latency, you're going to hear me say this multiple times, it just makes everything that much harder. Like, it looks like one thing, but then when you're actually playing on a server like in China, for example, playing from North America, it's an entirely different experience. So the team cohesion that both these sides have is really, really impressive just to be able to deal with this. And obviously a little bit of it is like fake lag, but they also have experience playing on high ping on each side. And that Hunter's going to land in the front, taking advantage of it. That's going to be a spit going down on that as well. The Smoker lands as well, and that is just, you know, most of the bonus actually just being left at the door in some ways, because once again, you know, for whatever reason, No Pressure couldn't get that skeet. Maybe he could have done it at some different point in time, but the most important thing, MK, is that this game is nearly equalized, 13-23 to 12-84. And not for nothing, I mean, being behind by that much of a margin after what happened on map 1 and how, like, it could have been even worse, like, it's not the worst thing in the world on a custom map to have your opposition go first, right?
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on the chapter, in my opinion, here, Rails. But when you come into No Mercy Rehab, every game that I have casted in No Mercy Rehab, whoever goes first on this chapter, it takes a boatload of damage, and the second team seems not to. It seems to be a theme. I don't know if that's going to keep happening here, but we'll have to see. Tank will be at 64% of the way through the map. I don't know if this is down the sewer or not, Rails, so they may run back either into the room where I said where the warehouse where they have the awnings up atop and you can run the tank around in circles, but if you get punched you could fall down and get in-capped in one shot, so you're kind of playing with fire going up there, but it's really easy to kite them around. It's just, what do you want to do in those situation, Rails? And we'll see what they choose. As Boomer lands onto one, that retreats them all the way back into the safe room, and we're probably going to be waiting here for a couple seconds. No, the Charger jumps by to get on top, and yeah, we're going to stay here for a little bit.
Well, yeah, and you kind of expect that to be a thing, because on Survivor side, right, it's like both teams have been pretty conservative so far. I mean, when you think about it, right, there are some teams, like I'm thinking of Evo in particular, who just play on high ping when it's 2 games, or like home and away, you know, the same way they would kind of on green. When it's 1 game, I haven't seen them do that as much, but both these teams in front of us here today, who are also in that upper echelon of, you know, competitive Left 4 Dead 2 from anywhere in the world, they've played it super conservative, enough to now we're watching them actually get another baiting timer with just about 11 seconds on it, and the Boomer is still just kind of up there chilling. Smoker goes in, Charger goes in, that's going to be a double cap, but the Charger doesn't get a slam. That's going to be a good boom landing as well. MK, that looked like it was going to be even more damage for a hot second there, but Fear Factor just going to keep pushing on.
Yeah, they were really, really lucky there. I think it was
really
Chris.
bad.
Yeah, Chris was the one who moved out of the way just in the nick of time, if I saw correctly, and was able to clear everything with that double charge. So they minimized damage, but still without a spitter, I respect the 5.5% damage they got. It's still good, but like you said, I still think Fear Factor dodged a bigger bullet rather than them just getting a really good hit.
Well, yeah, and now, I mean, this area, we saw the props be a big factor in a different game. The Pounce is going to go in and manages to land. The Spit actually went in before the Hunter did. Boomer dies last, so okay. I mean, I think they're going to get another charged Spit hit, but the point is, MK, a lot of the damage that goes out, and here comes from Survivor positioning, and Fear Factor are doing this a little bit differently. If you notice, right, like, Presto's the one who's kind of in danger, and now also Manzano, of actually getting stuck in that kind of area, but I think they're keeping their movement kind of loose instead of rigid, just so they can get away from whatever would block them in there, because it's a hit that does have a potential to do a decent amount of damage.
And as they quickly send in, only a jockey finds a home. Like you said, Rail, you said it perfectly how they set up differently in there, and the last game we casted, a lot of damage found value, but here they didn't find hardly anything. So now that first hit that did that 5.5% damage, with all the damage that came out with the next 2, lowers their average per hit down a lot.
Yeah, and I think, honestly, like, that hit might have woken Fear Factory up a little bit to where it's like, okay, what's going on here? I might sound a little bit like Adam when I'm talking like that, but it's one of those things where it's like, you don't want to almost get triple charged in a hit like that, especially with another, like, quasi-double cap going out, and since then, like, Fear Factory has been perfect. Like, they're one of those teams that has the ability to do that and then just kind of keep on rolling with it, as I mentioned before, and they literally haven't taken, like, almost any damage through the event now.
No, I mean, that was the 4th one, and look at, they lost, what, 3% in 4 hits? I mean, that's nothing. You got to be really happy with that if you're Fear Factory, and they might be able to they pushed out to the top, too. They didn't even get the choke point on the inside, so right now this is very favorable. This is the tank place I was talking about, Rails. You could kite him around, but look how dangerous it is if you make a wrong move. You got to fall all the way down there, and you lose 50 health, by the way, if you fall down from up there. That's about the penalty if you're punched. If you fall individually, it's like 40.
This is interesting. I haven't seen this actually in a very long time in terms of the pathing that they're doing. I think they really want to bait. Maybe they know it's a quad. They have to know it's a quad, right? And so it's like, okay, there's that. There's the tank coming up. You know, they're playing very, very high-level Survivor right now, just in terms of some of the stuff they're doing. Some people would be raging at the fact that they're doing some of these strats, but The reason that they're being so conservative is because the opposition, that being South Stars, is so good that they could land this quad cap. They really, really could. This baiting timer is a little concerning to me if I'm a fan of the survivors, but now they're going to start to rush it. Here comes the hit. Charge is going to land a double charge. This has potential. MK, Hunter's going in. Smoker's going to land. Jockey's trying to find Presto. The Hunter's still alive. Oh my goodness. What did I not tell you 30 seconds ago, MK? Because South Stars has the potential to land it, and look at what they did. I thought that after that first hit, that was the reset that Fear Factory needed, but they got double charged on that hit, and then they got double charged on that quad. Nobody could shut anything down, and that is massive.
Yeah, I am really shocked that they were. I thought for sure they were going to be able to get one of them, but they just couldn't get a kill. The lowest health was the Charger, 162. And that is going to put them on the back burner. But now it's going to come down to, we talk about this all the time, Rails. When things go down, it gets rough. How can the morale stay intact? Fear Factory's just got to lock in. And if they can return the wipe, they can hold on to the little delta that they still had at that point.
Yeah, and South Stars have done an amazing job. Like, their SI has just gotten progressively better since map 1, when one person didn't have anything. And then they're just absolutely taking it to Fear Factory on the survivor side for them the past couple of maps. Like, it's been absolutely atrocious map 2 and map 3 for Fear Factory, so they have to figure out what's going on there. I'm not sure exactly if they have like ultra static positions or like what it is, but you know, first things first, they have to try to stop South Stars. And I mean, that tank is going to be in an interesting spot, but whenever a quad goes out like that, it's just the most devastating thing. Obviously Pubstar back in the day were super known for their quads and would literally just try to go for a quad every other hit essentially when it came down to it. But you know, to have that kind of cohesion on Special Infected side, I really love to see South Stars still being this good, even with some of the lineup changes. They still have a couple of the core members, and they're able to keep it rolling at that level. It's really, really cool to see, because I'm a huge, like, that's always been my thing. I'm a Special Infected fan.
Yeah, for sure. And South Stars, also known as members that played on different teams, YBG, or known as their first name, the Keyboard Warriors, where they first came onto the scene. But now, it's their...
Shout out to Knock.
Exactly. Some OGs. It would be great to see him come back for RBTA, but I don't think that would happen, Rails. But it would be nice.
Not sure, because first we have to figure out who's going to be in prime position to try to be the #1 seed in this tournament, because that's really what the stakes are for this. You know, Fear Factory, Jockey, Charger, Smoker, Boomer, can they replicate the success that we saw South Stars put out? Because, you know, both teams have killer Special Infected. They really, really do, but... You know, the same kind of patience that we saw throughout this game is continuing. South Stars a little bit less patient, actually, and that's going to trigger the hit to go in. There's the Charger landing. Jockey's going to get killed. Ooh, that's a pretty clean take. I'm not going to lie, MK. It looks like South Stars are ready to try to take this lead back once again.
Yeah, it looks like the only damage came onto no pressure, but he felt plenty of pressure from that Charger, sacking him for 17, and that's all the points that came off, like you said. Actually, there was a little bit of friendly fire coming out here. Bugatti Slate took one, and some on Ozzy as well, so a little bit of help coming out from their own teammates. But spawns are down, 2-2, 100 Charger in here, Rails, to see if they can find something.
Bet's going to go in for a pre-spit. Charger's going to go in, but honestly, this is, I don't know. You can see it in some ways, you know what I mean? It's like you can actually just clearly see how the momentum has gone to South Star's side, because that hit seemed like a little rushed, I think, from Fear Factory, honestly, because it's like, okay, we're just going to send that in, do this here, send this in, do that here. They haven't had as much success actually landing things. But the reason that I said that South Stars are going to have a chance to take the lead again is it looked like they were going to do that last map. But really, MK, this is a much larger chance. Like, it has a much better chance of actually happening than it did last map. So we'll see exactly what happens here, as that Smoker is going to get immediately cleared. Charger's going to get shot. And yeah, again, no damage coming out. That's how far things have swung in South Star's favor. And, you know, if they can kill this tank pretty decently, even if they take like 2-ish in-caps, they could be up by as much, if not more, that Fear Factory was ahead of them map 1, honestly.
It definitely could, unless Fear Factory can find the home on some of these SI attacks before they get to the tank. Right now, I don't think that's enough damage. 2 survivors, still 5 punches. They're just going to sack Boomer, and I think they're going to go quad. If I saw the sack order correctly, if it's quad, but I don't know how I feel about it. Well, never mind. They got quadded the last time, so...
Yeah, right. I mean, they're going to try to do the same kind of thing. The thing about South Stars that I've noticed so far is that they're still playing pretty conservatively, like not as much as Fear Factory, so they might decide to just hold W and get to a decent spot here. It's actually not going to be a quad, though. It's going to be Hunter, Charger, Spitter, and a Jockey, interestingly enough. So it's going to be a damage hit. They don't have to worry about getting wiped. Hunter is going to land, but they do have to worry about this. This could be a decent amount of stack damage, and indeed, Bugatti is getting absolutely cooked.
Oh my goodness, Rails. He was one of the people who were 5 punches, but not no more. He goes down to 22 from 97. What a stack coming out. An impressive job from Fear Factory there.
As we were casting at MK, I think the same kind of thing happened. Because it wasn't a quad, they might have gotten just a little relaxed.
Yeah, and I mean, they ate it hard. That was over, what, almost 20% damage. But now comes the real task. They got to get down this ladder, which is the only benefit, no spitter. But there's going to be a tank almost right away. So if that charger charges them in the right direction and the boomer lands, they could go into a triple boom and the tank spawned while the charger has someone in his hands.
Oh yeah, that could very easily happen. It's one of those transition hits that we keep talking about, and I don't know, they need to be really, really careful on Survivor side, but conversely, they also have to do work. They're going to drop down with one person actually staying on the ladder, doing a quasi body block. The Charger does land, Hunter now does land. A little bit of damage, but honestly, I really like that from the Survivors because they managed to just guarantee that there would be separation for at least one person, and there wasn't going to be any kind of catastrophic boom. Nothing could just randomly spawn in their faces, and now this tank in the hands of Manzano has to do work.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, if there was anybody that Fear Factory wanted to have the tank, it would be Manzano. He's known for his tanks leading up to wipes, and the Survivors are retreating. Oh, he's in, and they're going in with a boomer. Oh, the boomer got stuck. He gets a double boom. This could be huge. He misses a punch, though. There's a punch on Bugatti, down to half health. There's a punch onto another. Oh my gosh! They're a double cap! There's so much. It's gonna be a double wipe unless he misses the punches. He's missing. Oh, there's a double. It's gonna be a wipe, Rails. What a tank coming out from Fear Factory. They needed it big and they got it.
Oh, that was insane. The fact that the boomer got stuck and then landed in that sequence. Obviously, South Stars do take the lead pretty much by default. But he says 3 out of 3 yeah, in terms of wipes and those kinds of things. I mean, okay, so Manzano's tank staunches the bleeding. Obviously, this is going 5 maps, if this score stays anywhere near close. But it's been a brutal game so far. I kind of said at the top of the cast where it was we're in for some kind of chaos. It's okay, it's 16-15 to 15-65 with these two teams after 3 maps. It's going to be something insane on map 4 and map 5. And there's that late tank once again, MK. This is going to be a brutal chapter, and now the winner is going to be the team that somehow manages to take the least damage prior to the tank. It's at 83%.
Yeah, that's at the top. That's definitely at the top. And one thing we didn't get to talk about last game when we were there, when I was telling you the tank that could strafe jump around the corner. Since Survivors want to shoot that tank, I've already seen a play where they spawn a smoker behind one of the pillars in that room, pull to a death charge when the tank commits, and the tank walks right by it. I saw it happen already, and I would love to see it again. But will it happen will be the question. Because I've only seen it once, Rails, but it is an amazing play. Hunter, Boomer, Smoker, Spitter for the opening attack. Retro attack with a spit, pretty much. Ready to go.
Yeah, this is essentially a tie game so far. We've seen brilliant SI play from both sides, and, the one thing has been, I think South Stars have taken the non-tank hits a little bit better, at least since map 1, but there's a good skeet going out, actually, by Ozzy, continuing a little bit of that recent trend. Spit's going to go in as well. Boomer's going to go and land the double boom, and the Smoker, pretty weak 2-2, honestly, for this area, and I think the Smoker dying last is just the right thing to do, and that's exactly what they're going to do.
Yeah, not much finds a home, but they'll be able to hit at the top of the stairs. I'm pretty sure South Stars will be able to get up there before Fear Factory will be ready, as the Jockey's the first one up in the rotation. But it's going to be about how much damage can they get onto South Stars from Fear Factory's perspective before this elevator opens. There's not much you can get up top, so most of the value is down below, in my opinion. But right now we have a Jockey in the back, Charger in the room, Spitter joining the Charger. It looks like we'll have a little bit of baiting, or just whenever the Survivors want to go forward. Sorry, I'm being called again. Hold on.
No worries. I am just going to see exactly what they decide to do, because honestly, I've seen it not happen as much recently, but these pounces and then charges for a double stumble and spit, those can be massive, but so can a double cap like this. That's going to be the 2 landing in the front and the Jockey landing in the back, and there's Fear Factory countering that trend, getting a beautiful tri-cap, and MK, you came back at the exact right time. Honestly, that could have somehow been worse.
Oh my gosh, the rolling tri-cap came in. It was so sexy. I think it was cleared up simultaneous. The one cappers. I don't know if it was an actual tri-cap, but man, that is so beautiful when you see it. Well coordinated from the special infected. And now they're going to have to walk in the back room. They're going to hit quick. They win another one. Spit goes on. A little questionable who it landed on, but they kind of run through it. Oh, that's spread rails. Wow.
Interesting. However, though, it was just a couple ticks of damage. The skeet went in, and that's the kind of shutdown consistency that you need to see from South Stars. Like, if you can make it up the elevator at this point without anybody bleeding, I'd say they've been winning the map so far, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. And they can't rush in again because Fear Factory going so quickly. So now they get another hit. And they want to go with the common infected. Charger comes in, misses pressure. Jockey gets melted. Hunter lands on pressure. A couple Charger slaps. One might have been God-framed. But still, they get him down to 92.5 with a couple of common slaps still coming out. Yet here, Rails, I don't know. I think that's pretty good damage coming out from Fear Factory pre-tank.
Yeah, it's acceptable, but everything really does hinge on this tank, and we've seen that happen in these close games a lot more recently, where it's like, okay, you know, that's usually how the best games go. Chris is a huge presence in this community and has been for years, obviously, as the captain of the team. Like, he needs to just... I don't know, in this situation when the game has been this close, I don't think the pressure to wipe is really there. Like, it would be nice to, obviously, if it somehow does happen, because we've seen multi-caps, we saw the quad happen, right? But at the same point in time, again, 3 people getting in-capped and bleeding like we've seen in other matches, like here, especially with Fear Factory Survivor, if they can just, you know, get it a little bit calmer, right, and just recover from the quad that happened, like, I don't think they'd be super pissed off if they just get a massive amount of damage too, but it really depends on what happens in this sequence.
Oh, wait a minute.
What?
What happened to it?
I don't know. See, now, weird shit, excuse my language, but weird shit like that happening on Special Infected is just more of the Left 4 Dead 2-ness of this game. Like, we saw what happened to Presto Map 2. I don't know if the player just didn't get it off or if it went under the elevator. I'm really not sure.
Yeah, I think it actually fell through and then went all the way down to the very bottom.
All the way down the elevator shaft? Yeah, okay.
It might not have landed yet.
That doesn't make any sense, but that's how this game goes. Now, that's going to be a nice boom going in. Oh, we saw this happen in another match, too, where the double boom here literally gets the wipe. They need to massacre these common, but the difference is that this tank spawns a little bit further away, but you know what? The Horde's also delayed. You know, he's in. He's absolutely in. He's getting a multi-punch on the Boom Survivors. That's exactly what the SI need. They're going to be looking for the hit in a hot second as well. That's the in-cap on Slay. Tank is running his way around, getting Lewis now at this point. He's down to 1,500 HP, and there are still 2 spawns. Survivor did get his pills off, however, though. Someone is stuck and is now teleported out of it as the double cap lands. That is Fear Factory getting a beautiful wipe with a double boom in an area where that kind of SI coordination is lethal. 2 wipes in a row from Manzano and Chris, and they're defending their right to be this tournament's best team. Just based on how they're playing so far, MK. What a tank.
What a tank and what a game. This has been a tug of war back and forth. I don't think anybody really had the lead by a lot except for Fear Factory after map 1. Even that wasn't that much, Rails, but still. This is staying like a tug of war. It's going to go to Chapter 5. I believe you're 100% correct. Unless, let's see, this is 600 distance, Rails, so if they just get distance, it's, what, 2165 just on the distance alone.
It'd be a 100-point game if they get distance, yeah.
But if they get extra bonus, what's the cutoff? The question is, how much bonus will not warrant to map 5 or map 8?
I'd say anything over 400 or 500, honestly. Between the actually no, because the tank is early, isn't it, on the finale?
Yeah, it's going to be either 40 points and a wipe, or they make it to the next tank and get either 514 or 544. It's a range in between there. You don't know what it's going to be.
I'm pretty sure we're going to map 5 because that would require Fear Factory to. Well, I mean, they can do it, honestly. If they turned it completely on Survivor side, they could shut down literally almost everything. But South Stars, I should say, have been doing a great job at the SI side of things. Looks like they might be a little deflated right now, though, because they're getting no damage on that first 2, too.
Weapons here!
No, that was completely clean, just like you said. And momentum's with them. See if South Stars can get the haze out from getting wiped and start turning on the pressure. I didn't see the sack order though, Rails. They might want to go quad now because they're not going to get a chance in those close quarters. Let's see if that's the sack order they got, or they just want damage with spit. Nah, they're just going to go spit hit every other time. And I can't argue with that either.
I think they might still be mad at getting boomed, honestly. After a sequence like that, I know we've seen mental, fortitude or lack thereof be a factor, and it's not that they're mentally weak or anything like that. It's just when you have something as insane as that double boom landing in that area that's usually pretty survivor-sided, they can take a minute to recover from it. It's a decent hit coming out here, though. They get 27 damage off of Jockey, plus a little bit of spit damage. That was a nice skeep by Manzano onto Bugatti, so... Fear Factory's turning it on. They know they only have so many more opportunities to really separate themselves from South Stars in this game. And I think they're going to try to find a way to here, unless some crazy separation hit happens before they get set up, which it could, honestly, because they have the Spitter, Hunter, Smoker, Boomer here. They could do some kind of stumble damage or something insane. Boomer is going to jump in, gets M2 to lot around. That Hunter is going to get skeeted. Presto, though, that's kind of what I was worried about, is a little bit of that spit stumble MK, and that is the first actual damage that we've seen in this chapter so far for South Stars. They've got about 60 total as a squad.
Yeah, you're right, but they're a little undetermined where they want to go right now. They're kind of split. Okay, never mind. They get back together. I figured. Now, they're only going to get one more hit now, so it's this hit in the elevator. Not as many opportunities as Fear Factory had due to them being a little staggered, in my opinion. But the jockey's going. Charger finds a target, spits it. Oh, it's a rolling tri-cap that comes in. He's got to run through the spit and rails. 90% down to 73. Almost 20%.
Limping. I mean, South Stars were in a better spot. This is such a, it's such a chaotic game that we're watching here, because in a situation like that, you usually expect to take almost no damage there on Survivor side, but everything got in. They couldn't, again, it was a story of not being able to kill one of the pinners. That boom lands in a way that I usually haven't seen. And okay, the tank's gonna be up into the hands of Bugatti when they get up there. But remember, they also have 83% of the map that they have to get through to actually spawn it. And for some reason, I just have a bad feeling about the run back in some ways too, because this has been a wonky game, MK, where random stuff like that is happening. We could still see some wildness even before the tank spawns, and then the tank itself has to be shut down by the survivors,
Yeah, and I just took notice to this. This is not the most optimal place to try it, but they do have a quad before this tank. So, I mean, if they can find a way to land this, I don't know how much points are going to jump when they open the elevator door, because it's going to. But if they could land this up to 68% rails, they're just going to go in here. I don't know if this is going to work, but they'll get some pre-tank damage down to 903.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Really aggressive.
I don't know. I think I would have been a little more patient there, Rails, don't you think? Give that a shot.
I think what they want is they want to do the same thing, because sometimes, honestly, at this level of the game, what's the ideal thing to have happen now? Still a double boom, you know what I mean? So I think they really wanted the boomer, and I think they want to be able to use it while the survivors are moving back potentially, or just have it in a spot where it could be a factor, because this tank does have to do a lot of work, and that's exactly what it is. And the tank is already in the corner on Presto. He does the drum, and then the actual double punch goes out the boom survivor. It is utter chaos. They went in so fast because they wanted this hit. The tank is actually not managing to find that lockup yet, as the jockey has gone forward. The tank has the separation, but is there a chance that Presto can get this smoker clear on Manzano? The answer is no, and MK, we are watching a bloodbath of a match that still is practically tied going into map 5 from yet another wipe. That happened so fast you almost couldn't even expect it, because they threw it all in on that transition hit, and I love when teams do that on Special Infected. It's just so tragic for survivors when that actually happens, and he got that corner on Presto in 2 seconds.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it, to be honest with you. I'm flabbergasted, to be honest with you. I didn't expect the tank to spawn so close to the drop point. I didn't notice that on the other side rails. He pretty much spawned and already did the strafe jump before we could even say anything. I missed that.
This match would drive anybody insane on either team just because of exactly what's going on here. But it's a less than 50-point game, MK. It's 49 points in favor of South Stars, and there's another early tank. If that ends up being like the actual ending delta of this game, it's going to be the wildest thing of all time. But the SI side for each team has been such just theater, honestly, for the past 5 maps, including this one. I mean, I already can feel it coming. Something's gonna happen here.
Oh, I did miss that. Since they ran forward, they got extra points when the tank died. The wipe didn't happen. See that? They went over 2K. I did miss that, but the charge spit gets picked. Oh, nicely job. But they'll get a little jockey damage and some smoker scratches, so Fear Factory still finds it through. But I did not notice that. That was, what, an extra 17 points, I think it was, they got because of that?
Yeah, something like that, but it won't be like, oh, if somebody runs forward, they can steal the lead game here, because it spawns exactly at like 28, 29 points. And this tank in the hands of Presto, this is huge. You know, in a game like this, probably where neither team's expecting to make the escape vehicle, right? You know, it depends on how far they get. They're getting a little bit of chip through the wall. There's a boom that goes out, though. Oh, my goodness. This could easily be a repeat of what we saw. But actually, the tank is deciding now he's going to go in. After that boom went down, he gets a punch, but he's already down to 3,300 HP. No one's in capped yet. No pressure. Who's boom? Running towards the other spawns. Hunter and Charger both over there. But honestly, that Hunter is going to die. Charger's going to land on a no pressure. Zoe has to do something here because the tank is still getting a corner. She is going to successfully do that at this point. Jockey is also jumping around, and this is crazy. I mean, I thought for some reason that she might be able to, you know, move a little faster than that, but instead Presto is still alive, going and getting the corner here onto Slay. The melee is out. Slay's taking pills, just running away from the tank. This is wildness, and now that Smoker's also going to die. They really should wipe here. Honestly, they should, but that's not going to happen because the Boomer's going to go in. Slay's alive. They still have a chance with one SI, but MK, something seems super off about just the entire sequence of that fight. I think the separation that we're looking at here is so much more than what you'd expect. Just, it was more damage than I thought was going to be pushed out, and it's 3 in caps onto them with what should have been a wipe, in my opinion.
Yeah, they are so lucky that they are alive right now. I thought for sure if he didn't punch him too far away, Presto would have been able to clean it up, but somehow, sometimes that's just how it goes in Left 4 Dead. He got jumped when he got punched and just couldn't catch him. The bonus has been decimated. It's all going to be DB and pills from this far out, and 3 survivors have been in-capped. If they can get Francis down here, Rails, they could kill him. That could change everything for the outcome of this match for Fear Factory.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing is going to be they're going to get more pills, and they need to just not get killed here. That's the other thing. Charger is going to go in. He is not going to land. I don't think he got Charlie Brown from that smoker, but the smoker then does end up landing. The infuriating part, though, if you're Fear Factory, is, okay, because they are the team that was ahead now by 49 points or whatever, right? You know, they're going to have to kill 2 tanks on their survivor side, unless they somehow quad them, you know, before they have a chance to make all that distance, because the tank spawns at like 512 points or whatever, right?
Yeah, or still, I mean, it's still possible. No Pressure's not popping his pills. He'll be black and white. I don't like this call, Rails, because that'll be the easy target, and then they can kill him before tank, and they won't need to kill a second tank.
Yeah.
So I'm not a fan of this play, but no Infected are going for it.
Yeah, I guess they're gonna, I mean, this also isn't the sack for a quad either. They're gonna shoot him down. So he's going to be black and white at this point. Manzano still has a charger. If they somehow manage to get an insta-kill as well, you know, obviously that would really help their case, and they could actually win the game off that. So they've got to be super careful here. I think the black and white survivor, you know, obviously he's going to be the target for the SI if they can somehow, like, stack onto him. But in an area that's this open, I don't know exactly how that's going to go, and Zoe's going to be watching really carefully with that Uzi as well, just because any kind of separation here could actually kill him. They're going to pull him, and then the Charger is also going to go in, not going to be what they're looking for, and the black and white survivor is the one that gets the skeet. Those points are ticking up, and Fear Factory just is kind of watching it happen now, MK.
Yeah, there's nothing they could do. I mean, they have, what, 2 more sets of pills remaining. There's none extra. Ozzy's going to have to eat one now, and then No Pressure is going to have the last one just to prevent himself from dying. Points just jumped up about 112, so they got to the first event to be over, so now they have to wait to the next to get to the tank. And I think you're right. I don't think Fear Factor's going to be able to kill anybody before that time. Charger walking in, he lands. They will get a charge bit, but it's not on No Pressure. It's on another survivor, and Ozzy goes in cap. Now he's black and white. Ooh. It's 2
well,
now,
not for
Rails.
nothing. I mean, they're gonna have to like also reckon with the fact that Fear Factory is, depending on what happens on the first tank, Fear Factory can actually make the entire map. You know what I mean? Like, these are the 2 teams that are some of the preeminent seeds in the entire tournament. Both are undefeated, you know, and you have tournament winners on both sides. So it's like, okay, you can't guarantee that just making it to the second tank is going to win you the game. That is going to be a nice clear, however, going out, and a great skeet by Bugatti as well onto the Hunter, because that actually could have been a triple cap in a hot second there. Smoker does now land as well, but once again, you know, tank's going to roll in, kill South Stars, and then South Stars has everything that happens at the start of the map, the death charge chances in the middle, and then also another tank to kill Fear Factory, and that's what's going to decide this game is the SI side. It's just crazy to see because it's been this close the entire time practically, and the largest lead either team has had is like 300 so far. So because it's 49 points at this point, it's just like, okay, with the tank, just kill them as fast as possible, don't screw around with anything, and God forbid don't get so caught in the middle of them that you somehow don't wipe them, because they should die at this point as well.
Yeah, and that hit was the last hit, I believe, before tank, because it's exactly 54 point difference when that tank spawns right now. So if a survivor died, they did kill 1 or 2. I think that, never mind, it just went up.
Well, yeah, and if somebody insta-died, that'd be a different story. That boomer, though, is going to land. We are going to see the pound spit go into. Smoker not really able to do a whole lot of anything, but that's going to be the tank being triggered. 544 points of the way through. So, okay then. Gosu has the tank. He has the chance to kill them. There's still some horde coming in, honestly, but barring anything super dumb. Okay, Bugatti's going to be down. The tank should already be practically there if I were him, but I think they're just waiting for spawns. Yeah, actually, instead, now the tank is going to like play it longer just to be safe with it. There's no other points ticking up, however, so you know, survivors are dead. They know they're dead, and it's going to be a tall task for Fear Factory because for whatever reason, you know, they've gotten in position to really, really capitalize multiple times, but it seems like South Stars has their survivor kind of figured out for whatever reason, and I think South Stars is actually pretty okay with betting on their SI. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think they're just going to try to drag this out as long as possible, but Noro's got to be careful. You can't play long here. You're going to take a lot of chip damage no matter where you stand on this finale. And it looks like he's going to go in. He's down a lot of health already. This is a lot of pre-tank damage.
That's the jump that he was going for.
You
see, like, you know, he was literally trying to jump onto the helipad to commit to them, and he literally missed it. So instead, the SI are kind of spawned up now, too. This could actually somehow not be a wipe. He's down to 2,000 HP. He does get the kill. There are 2 people dead. But again, yeah, all right. I mean, they actually might have killed him. They actually could have killed him for a hot second there or something. But thankfully, Gosu, you know, he recovered from it. He did the right thing, and then he actually does secure the wipe. So, okay, no embarrassment needed. That's a good way to prevent that from happening, and you're still not over one of the survivors just jumping off the map.
No, I see what he tried to do. He tried to jump off the top onto the ladder to not take fall damage, and he just missed. I think they might have been able to kill it if he makes that ladder jump off the top of that thing, but he was too slow, Rails. I think that's what it was.
Each team missed a jump, and that is what equalizes it. Yep. I mean, all right. This first tank has actually been notorious for doing a good amount of damage. What do you think they should do to avoid the same kind of fate? Because I'm looking at this right now, and I'm just like, okay, they're probably taking 3 in caps if I'm not, you know, understating what I think might actually happen.
The boomer can't land. The boomer can't land. A 1 boom is just enough in this room, Rails. A 1 boom is all you need. That's what Presto had, and he got, what, 3 in caps and 3 punches on the last survivor? I mean, that's incredible value right there. So I think if there's no boomer that lands, and they're able to kite through that 1 room 1 time, they can get out of this with 1 in cap. Other than that, you're looking at 2 in cap minimum or wipe. It's really difficult in the close quarters like this, Rails. It's really difficult.
Indeed it is, and no pressure, saying no pressure here would be absolutely perfect for him, because South Stars have the ability, like I said, they have 2 full tanks to get the job done, and even if they have, like I said, 3 bleeders or 4 bleeders, like, going through those pills and then being able to kill them on that tank is actually more possible, I think, on this map as opposed to regular No Mercy. But good job by Fear Factory on their final round, killing that charger. Spitter, Jockey, Smoker still just going for some pre-tank damage. I think the SI would love to see at least 2 or 3 people as 4 punches here.
Ew, they do get a little bit of damage, but not enough to get them into those 4 punches you were talking about. Let's see if they can get on anybody. Smoker gonna try it for a scratch probably. And no damage. And Spitter gets picked. Boomer, here it is. This is the play, Rails. If this Boomer lands, this could be the game changer. As No Pressure
honestly,
has control of the tank now.
I really don't like that from South Stars. Like they have nobody right now, and that Boomer's dead too, right? They have absolutely only 2 survivors, right, who could even be close to 4 punches by the time this happens. Everybody is 5 punches, and that's crucial here.
Yeah, and oh, I would have baited one of the commons to break that wall. Oh, the tank almost broke the wall himself. That's a game changer if that door's open, because they could spray him up if he chooses to commit through there. Let's see what he chooses to do. He's going to go through the wall. He's in, and he's going to chase the survivors around. Early corner here, Rails. Second punch. He's over the top. He turned punches. I don't know about this. We'll see if it works out.
Like it. He's spraying the damage. That charger, though, does get cleared by the tank, but the tank is now just throwing fists. Interesting choice for him to decide to damage spread their MK. They do not take an in cap. It's good damage overall, but there's nobody bleeding. This is going to come down to this second tank and the hits in between, and you could not ask for a closer game for the match of the week. This is incredible gameplay.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I do like the ideas of spreading the love, Rails. I like it, but I don't know. I think I would like one in cap. Just my opinion. I could be wrong.
That's the issue. Is I don't know if you saw it, but he literally cleared his own charger. So the charger had somebody, and then he punched the charger, and it said no pressure cleared it in chat. Yeah, so
that's unfortunate.
That was the friendly fire, unfortunately, happening in a small area like that, which, again, it could be ping. It's super unfortunate because had that charger actually landed and then he keeps punching somebody else, that's at least an in cap and a half in addition to what they got.
Yeah, I think I didn't miss that, so I completely agree with that. I didn't see that he cleared his own. I thought he just landed and left it, but he actually cleared it, so that changes a lot. Probably could have got 2 survivor slowline if that doesn't happen, but this is what they're looking at. 1,080 or 1,184. Hunter gets heated, charger melted. Jockey's the only one to find a home, and that's a quad thwarted with minimal damage. Only aggressive W is now slow, but still no reason to pop.
Yeah, they have 8 sets of pills. This is going to really challenge South Stars to play some killer special infected. I mean, the one saving grace for him in this situation, red ping plus horde is usually super annoying, but fear factor is some of the best at actually mitigating that on the planet, and they're going to try to their positioning here is ultra important, as is their ability to cover one another. Spitter, Smoker, Hunter, Boomer for the next hit coming in. Hunter's trying to land and does manage to land now onto Chris with some spit damage going in. Smoker gets a little bit of damage too, but again, you need people bleeding for this tank, and like if you said it, actually, them trying to play long on this, they can easily just get pushed and pushed and pushed around the map. But, you know, there's multiple ways for them to kill them, but the ball is kind of in Fear Factory's court right now.
I agree. It's definitely in their court. They have everything. Look at that. The quarter waypoint already is here after one hit. That was very fast. They're killing the commons in speedy fashion. The jockey's trying to come in. Charger will land. They'll get a charge spit. Jockey can't find a target, but another survivor's going to be bleeding, and they're first down. So now
Don't make me leave your ass behind.
I mean, the DB's
That's exactly what they need.
The DB's open, Rails, but I don't think it matters because we're not going by bonus. We're just going by killing the tank.
No, exactly. I mean, and it's something where, okay, they now are still going to have, you know, as many sets of pills as they will, but Chris has to pop. Manzano already popped. Presto is only the one survivor who's taken it down so far, but I don't like this now from Fear Factory because, oh my goodness, that survivor, he's pounced right now, taking so much damage, and the Boomer is going to land as well. That almost looked like it could have been a death too had they not killed the Charger MK. There's just something about Fear Factory's survivor that just seems off right now.
Yeah, I think they got to sharpen it up a little bit. I think they got a little too confident. Smoker gets a pull, gets cleaned up pretty quickly. Smoker's dead, so now they won't have a proper hit. And it's already about tank time. 480 distance. Do they have any more pills in there? They're going to go quickly. Charger misses. Jockey melted. Free spit, nothing. And Charger will be killed at the end. Let's see, Rails. They have 2 more sets of pills yet.
Yeah, I mean, they're in a great position to actually survive this. The ideal, honestly, in this situation might be to play somewhat of a rock tank because you have 4 people bleeding and they only have 6 sets of pills. So, you need to guarantee a wipe, and it's like, okay, you know, they're bleeding as much as they are. I think South Stars would prefer it if they had like 2 less sets of pills, maybe 3. They're going to send a hit in right now as well. Jockey's going to land, Hunter's going to land on the same target, and the Smoker has a separation pull that nobody's clearing. Look at this, MK. He is still pulled on the side. Chris does not have a shot on him. No pressure is actually going to almost get an in cap out over on the left-hand side. That's crazy damage, and once again, the positioning, what is happening on Fear Factory's side?
Yeah, it's fallen apart, but I'm really shocked at how long this last horde has been lasting. It's been at 480 for
They've gotten boomed. They've gotten boomed like 4 or 5 times. Like, no hyperbole, they've been eating boomers too, and that extends some of the horde, honestly. Chris is going to get in-capped at a bad time. Charger's up as well, going in. Jockey's going to land on the right-hand side, and yeah, it's been a little disastrous for Fear Factory here on Survivor side. This tank has a lot of options, but the main goal for Bugatti is going to be do not let them make the chopper. And his tank actually spawns in a really interesting spot. He decides to take the roof from them. The survivors could actually try to push him really hard here. He's down to 5,400 HP just like that. And wow, that was a really, really quick sequence there, but the tank is in the position he wants to be, I'd hope.
He is, but he's losing rage already. It's going to be hard to play long here, Rails. We were talking about this, but I think the play is still trying to... He's got to go as long as possible. So here's a first rock attempt. Let's see if it finds a home. The rock will get skeeted, but the SI get a little bit of damage. That just slows the survivors down a bit. They're all still fast, though. Wait a little bit more to the next hit round.
Yeah, tank is actually retreating at this point. The survivors are going to push him because they know that they have a little bit of the advantage, because the longer this... Well, actually, the tank's going to throw a rock onto them right now as he's getting chipped down to 4,600. I thought he was going to go down. Instead, he stayed, which means that they literally just surrounded him, and now he is a rock tank. Like... Oh, this is going to be so brutal depending on how this goes. Jockey is going to land. Rock is going to go in. Not going to find it, but there's double caps happening at the top with the Charger and also the Hunter. Rock goes in. He gets a Rage Rock onto Chris. So he is still first pass, and now they have a Survivor slow, but they're right on his ass, MK. Like, this is the peak of what we could be seeing here. He's down to 4,000 HP, throwing a rock, missing it onto the Survivors who are chipping him. He has to be super careful because now he's down to 3,500 HP. Fear Factory is slow. It's going to come down to whether or not they kill him, and he's staying out at the current time. Like, this is ridiculous when it comes down to it. Boomer is going to land once again onto Chris. The rock isn't going to find anything, but MK, this is tense.
It is tense, and they're taking damage. They're under 3K now. They kill all the SI, though. Let's see what this rock does. Nothing. He's going to drop second pass here. I don't think there's any way he holds first unless someone gets way too aggressive. Almost gets that curve rock. He is second now, Rails. The time is ticking. We're going to determine a winner probably this next spawn rotation. Charger actually comes up against an in-cap. Oh, this is huge that he's down.
Well, yeah, they have to go back up there and get Chris now, too. Like, this is... Like, if he goes AI, I think they get enough points to win, if I'm not mistaken. Rock is still not going to land somehow. We do have a Boomer landing and a Pounce landing. And the tank is just throwing rocks at the Survivor who's picking up Chris. And I think he's going to land this one here, because even if Chris gets up, I don't think they skeet it. And they do actually somehow find a way to skeet it. So Chris pistol skeeted that as he was getting picked up. That is wild, but okay. The tank needs to not die. He has 2,000 HP and a dream, less than that now. And, you know, he's doing a great job of keeping rage. Like, Fear Factor just getting whittled away and whittled away. If he lands another rock, you know, this is practically over. Jockey's going to land, Rock's going to go in, and it gets skeeted again. MK, this is ridiculous.
I think they should just LOS him hard, and they're pushing him hard. Can they get this rock? Oh, it almost lands. It was so close. He's down to 1,000, but he was 45% frustration. He's trying desperately to drag it to one more special infected attack. 770, 685. 30% frustration left.
No way.
Oh, it's dropping fast. 646. Charger misses. In-cap goes out. Rock is going to miss. But they got to get the pickups. There's 2 people down. I cannot believe they're still going here. The Boomer's trying to get a spawn. One pickup happens. Boomer from above. It lands. Rock comes out. Oh, the rock lands. He gets full frustration. Oh, this is crazy, Rails. Now they got to go get him because they can't LOS him long enough. 2 people black and white.
Chris is black and white, and so is I mean, Manzano right now is at 1 HP as well. That's Chris dead. The tank is still alive, 358 HP. There's no way, but South Stars are clinging to this. You know, okay, he's gonna die right here. He's literally gonna die. He has 23 HP. There's no way.
He did
And
it!
now the tank is dead.
There's 1 point! It's 1 point!
It's 1 point.
Oh my!
Fear
Oh, they
Factory
did it!
gonna win.
It
One.
did it! Fear Factory got the comeback. What a game, Rails! What a game!
Oh, that's insanity right there. Like that, they played Rock all the way to and through the end, but Fear Factory had just enough to hold on and stay alive. That is one of the closest matches that I've ever seen, and I mean, South Stars have just got to be kicking themselves for not like just somehow finding a way to kill them there. It was so close, and now we have the nice server comment coming out from Chris. That's gonna bring an end to this match, and Fear Factory are gonna move to 4-0 by just over 100 points in this game. MK, what a game, and what a way for Fear Factory to make the comeback.
Yes, it was, and what an honor to cast beside you, my friend. That'll be Fear Factory getting the victory over South Stars with a campaign score of 2,713 to 2,594. GG, and what a show we had the honor to watch today.